What is going, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Under the Rim podcast. And bro, I'm ready. My hands, you can hear my hands. I'm ready for some Clippers slander. All right, I am ready to take down the Clippers, to simply dismantle the Clippers. And we got some breaking news first. Right before I made this podcast, they announced Giannis as the MVP of the league. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. And yes, before all of you start complaining, it is a regular season award. Whatever. I knew Giannis was winning it. I don't like, bruh. I'm not mad. I don't care that Giannis won it, but it's not. I don't think he's gonna win another one until he proves himself in the playoffs. Like I don't think he's gonna get very very far if he doesn't prove himself soon. So um they got bounced, and I talked about that last week. But let's talk about the even bigger goddamn upset that just happened: the Nuggets taking out the Clippers. Oh god, I've won, but at what cost? I made a bet with one of my friends that the Nuggets aren't making out the second round. All right, for $10, and at the beginning of the playoffs, you'd be like, "Oh, that's easy money, free money, bro. You're taking bear." Nope. Nope, I forgot. I forgot. I shouldn't have never freaking bet against the Nuggets, bro. Because I used to just trash the Clippers every year because these dudes are ass and they're cursed and they never will make it out the second round, no matter how good their team is apparently. So I'm sitting here thinking their Clippers are up 3-1. I'm getting my $10 soon, bro. I'm gonna go buy some friggin' lunch. I'm gonna go buy some pizza. Whatever's going on here. All right, up 3-1. I'm like, wiping my hands. I'm like, this is done. The Clippers can handle business. It's gonna be Lakers, Clippers, Western Conference Finals. I got the Lakers in 7. So the Nuggets win one game. I was like, okay, the Clippers need to chill. Like they just blew a 16-point lead. What are they doing? Doc Rivers need to close out the game. Kawhi, you need to pick it up. Playoff P, where the hell you at? And then they blow a 19-point lead, and I was like, okay, this is. These guys took it to game 7, and you know what was the most terrifying thing about this whole thing? The scariest thing I've ever seen. Hold on, let me just move my chair closer. The scariest thing I've seen in Jokic literally said to the camera, "Yo, there's no pressure on us. The pressure is all on them." Because he knows everyone expected the Clippers to walk through the Western Conference, right? All the way to the conference finals, right? To just cakewalk it. And everyone. I saw this whole list. It was like a list of 30 people, ESPN reporters, reporting on who they think would make it out the Nuggets series or whatever. Everyone had the Clippers. All 30 of them had the Clippers in 5, 6, whatever. None of them had the Nuggets, and the Nuggets won. I wonder how much betting on the Nuggets coming back from another team, how much money that would have made you. Like, holy shit. Let's talk about these individual players, first of all. But let me give the Nuggets their due respect first before I say, was this the series the Nuggets won, or did the Clippers lose this? Some dumbass question like that. But my boy, I have to say it, the boy Jamal Murray, all right? The boy Jamal Murray and the boy Jokic, all right? These guys are hoopers. These guys are ballers, all right? Straight ballers. Right now, they're balling at least. Right now, Jamal Murray is a straight sniper, and Jokic is probably the best center in the league. Yes, that you heard that here first, guys. He's not the best big in the league. That would be AD, but the best center in the league is definitely Jokic. He's definitely got the best passing ability I've seen from a center. He can shoot it. He can got the mid range. He's not as athletic as many people, but was a lot of these other centers like Dirk or a couple other guys, like not really, but he got the skill to back it up. And when they are down these big deficit leads, they're in familiar territory. They do not shy away from the competition. They take it head on, and they run with it. So let's look at the Clippers. All right, these dudes are talking shit. These dudes are talking smack. These dudes are making fun of Lillard, making fun of CJ. They're playing dirty. They're calling Luka the white boy. They're trying to injure Luka. Marcus, if I can remember, is making he's doing dirty plays on Luka. They're just playing like a very arrogant team. They're not taking the regular season seriously. They think they can cakewalk it. They think the title is locked up for them. It is good to go. Everything. No one's beating them, right? No one's beating them. They're tweeting out how no one's gonna beat them. how it's over for the rest of the league, how Pat got the next 5 years, whatever. Good, good for them. Good for them. All right, you know what? Good for them. Screw the Clippers. Screw the Clippers. And y'all gonna be for the 99% of you that want to hear this Clippers slander, here you go. All right, but for the 1% of you that's a Clippers fan, you can either hear it or you can either cut. All right, because number one, let's focus on the obvious. Kawhi Leonard. This is the main franchise piece right here. This is what the team signed. This is what the hype was. Why he wanted to come here, play with Paul George. Everyone moved around these pieces, and so he comes here. He goes 0 for 11 in the fourth, and he doesn't make one shot. He couldn't buy a bucket. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He couldn't hit the ocean if I gave him a pebble and said throw it in there. You know, so I don't know what he was doing. I don't know how he just shrunk under pressure like that. This isn't, and you know I'm saying the Raptors need a closer. They need someone like Kawhi because Kawhi was that closer last year, but apparently not. I don't understand what's going on here because he's clearly not the dude I thought he was. You know, he is still an all caliber superstar. Don't get me questioned here. He is a MVP, but is he the best player in the world? Hell no. He is not the best player in the world. And I want to hear all these ESPN reporters stop saying this shit, all right? Because the only one best player in the world is LeBron James. And the second best player in the world when healthy is Kevin Durant, you know? So I'm taking LeBron and Kevin Durant before I take Kawhi. Sorry, not sorry, all right? Because those are some of the best people. They done things on the courts that I've just been astounded by, you know? Like Durant's like almost effortless scoring ability that he can just pull up from anywhere. He can drive it, lay up, fade away, like anything that looks effortless, you know. LeBron's athleticism, passing ability, rebounding, defending, blocking, like all of that, scoring, you know. But like Kawhi, he's just shrinking under these moments, and this series was a real question to a test of Kawhi's abilities, you know. On the Spurs, he wasn't the main guy. It was Timmy D, Tony Parker, Manu, you know, those guys. And then when he came to the Raptors, was he the main guy? Yes, but there was no expectations on them. You know, no one thought they were going to win the chip. No one really gave them the second look, you know. No one really gave them the benefit of the doubt because everyone likes to look down on the Toronto Raptors. So they're like, oh, he's in Toronto, he's whatever, second round bounce, he's out of there, you know. Then he's leaving to wherever, you know. So he didn't really have like the Nuggets had. They had no pressure on them, you know. So he could really execute what he needed to, and the Raptors treated him like royalty, gave him the load management, the day offs, everything he needed, everything was accounted for. And then he came through for them. He got them a chip. He had the perfect situation in Toronto, and he left. And he left, all right, because he wanted to go home. Fair enough. You want a chip for Toronto. We can't complain. You want to go home. Fair enough. So he goes to LA, and then he makes the Clippers trade about four picks. Is it 5 picks? 5 picks, right? 5 picks, and I think what was it Shai Gilgeous for Paul George for playoff P. He says he's not going there if he doesn't get Paul George because he wants to play with Paul George. Now, what in the hell showed you that you should play with Paul George over LeBron and AD? I really want to know what went through your head there. Okay, so fine, you don't want to make a super team. So stay on Toronto. Stay on Toronto. You don't have to make another super team. You can stay on Toronto. You just won the chip. Go for the repeat. Who the hell sign a 1-year deal? Go for the repeat. If you don't do it, then leave. Jesus Christ, man. So Kawhi really shrunk under the moment, and maybe this will be his LeBron 8 points against the Mavs moment. Maybe this will be his Tragic Johnson moment, and he'll learn from this and come back better. Who knows? But you know the difference is those guys, LeBron, Magic, Bird, whoever had these like small moments, you know, they had good teammates. They had good teammates that were there for them when he needed them. You know, when that could back him up. That was like LeBron had Wade. Magic had, what was it? Do I want to say? Was it Kareem, all those guys, Big Game James, you know, Who else? Like that's what I'm saying. They all had reliable teammates that you can count on, and that you can go to for good scoring options. And well, yeah, they might have a bad playoff game, but they won't be consistently trash, So let's go to my favorite topic, my favorite person to slander right now, even though he is one of my like favorite players to watch. When he was on Indiana, he was one of my favorite players to watch, and he was one of my favorite players. But now I don't know where the hell this dude went. Mr. Playoff P himself, PG-13, Paul George, my favorite dude. This dude out here, right? He's out here hitting the side of the backboard, looking like J.R. Smith. He is not even putting up a fight at this point. Then he wants to go into the post-game press conference and just cap his ass off and saying, oh, it was entitled year or bust for us. We never really thought that. Bro, you literally said in the beginning of the season, who can beat us? You have two of the best players in the league who can score and get a stop whenever they need it. Where the hell was the scoring and where the hell was the stops? I didn't see either of them, all right? I don't think we ever gonna meet playoff P, because this dude's like, y'all ain't made playoff P yet. I don't think we're ever gonna meet playoff P, bro. If you ask me, a lot of people are giving shit to Kawhi, and yes, while it is deserved, I think more of the shit needs to be going to Paul George. Paul, you cannot be shitting the bed like this consistently in every playoff series. You can't just drop 31 game and say, yeah, I did my job. All right, job's over. We did it. And then be so freaking cocky to say, yeah, look at the next one. It's done. It's done. You don't say we're going to win the next one. You say we're going to focus on one game at a time and take what the defense gives us, whatever, some shit like that. You don't sound like a cocky bastard. I swear everybody but Kawhi on that team is literally sounding like a cocky dickhead. I'm telling you. Lou Williams, Pat Beverly, they're all talking shit, talking about sending Lillard to Cancun. He's home in 7, whatever. Lillard was right, bro. Like, when he added Paul George straight up and said, y'all boys are chumps running from the grind, joining team to team. That's literally what Paul George is, bro. Honest to God, you were there with Russ. You had a good playoff run. Honestly, if that team had one more good person, the Western Conference Finals for them. You had Russ. Russ was in a groove. Paul George was not getting in a groove. He said he wasn't leaving. He faked out the Lakers. He faked out everyone. Then he re-signed, and he is so back and forth. Paul George is so back and forth, and he is a superstar. Is Paul George a top 10 player in the league? Let me start naming out that on my hands that I can think of. Not in any order. We got LeBron that I would take over Paul George. LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, AD, Steph. Why am I blanking right now? Luka. Yes, I take Luka over Paul George. I think anyone would at this point. I said AD, right? Lillard. Yeah, I'd take Lillard. Harden. Would I take Russ over PG? They're both playing like shit in the playoffs, so I don't know. Who would I take again? Oh, Kyrie. Definitely would take Kyrie over Paul George. Say what you want about Kyrie, but that man. Oh, and I take Jimmy Butler over Paul George. So he's not top 10 in the league anymore. I'm sorry. But, it's like he'll cut it maybe top 20, top 15, but I don't think he's top 10 in the league anymore. Honestly, if he's playing at an all-time high like he was that time in OKC where he was playing at like an MVP caliber level, and for that little bit, definitely top 10. Definitely a top 10. He is a good defensive player. But right now, I didn't even mention Giannis, bro. Whoa, I didn't even mention Giannis in that top 10. I'm chopped. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So many other players I can take over Paul George, So I said that I was just blanking off there, just at the top of my head. So this is just Clippers Thunder. Doc Rivers needs to be fired at this point. I think they give him one more year and they see where it goes. If not, Ballmer is cleaning house next year. I think he is firing the coaching staff. It would be interesting seeing the Clippers with a dude like D'Antoni. I think that'd be interesting to see what the offense would be like. Because clearly the offense was stagnant as shit in the second half of these last 3 games they lost. So they really got bounced out in the second round. That's crazy. But you know what? I'm putting more of the blame on Paul George than Kawhi for this. I think you need to step up Montrez literally was averaging 2 rebounds and 2 points a game. Lou Will was just never himself. He just never wanted to come back. So Pat Beverly just doesn't do anything. He just fouls on the court. So I don't understand how this team was supposed to win. Like, I was scared of the Clippers, but like I didn't think the Lakers were not making it all the like not beating them. But this is just pathetic. This is just straight pathetic. This is probably one of the biggest upsets I've seen, but this is just pathetic by the Clippers, honestly. They need to do some reevaluating. They need to head home and they need to talk it out. Also, let's talk about them boys down in Miami. Them dogs down in Miami. All right, let's talk about that boy Jimmy G Buckets. Speaking of him as the top 10, as one of the top 10s. I'm taking Jimmy Butler a lot over a lot of people, honestly, because everyone likes to undervalue this dude. He wants to win more than anything, and he will slit your throat to get it. He is a straight killer, bro. I'm telling you, we need to stop sleeping on Jimmy Butler. We need to stop sleeping on him. I don't know why everyone keeps calling him toxic to the locker room or whatever. He's not, bro. All he wants to do is just win. And he's now in an environment where he can do that and where these people thrive off that energy. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, all these different dudes, these snipers. And you've got guys like Eric Spoelstra, like just a winning mentality, and they will hear Jimmy Butler's criticism. They will take it and they will use the feedback. They won't shun him away or say you can't be controlled or make him feel like a piece of shit. No. And see what happens? The Celtics are now down 2-0. The Celtics are down, and screw the Celtics too, bro. Like they legitimately have 4 superstars on the team. 4 superstars, borderline all-stars on their team. They got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward, and more low-key emerging superstars, and these guys blew literally a 16-point lead yesterday. I don't know what the hell the Celtics are doing, but they looking like the Clippers right now. I think Jason Tatum's a superstar. I think he's consistent. He's putting up 30, so it's really not his fault. I really just don't know what the Celtics are doing. They are letting the Heat get back into this game, but the Heat, I'm giving all the credit to the Heat, bro. The Heat beat the Celtics. The Celtics didn't lose this game. The Heat beat them straight up. They made their shots, they played the defense, and they just want to win. You could see the Heat wants this. The Heat wants this more than any other team in the East. They beat the Bucks. Don't even get me started on the Bucks again, but I think we need to give credit where credit is due. They got some straight shooters on that team. They got some straight killers, all right? Straight dogs, like people were saying. They will get in the grit and grind, the down and dirty, and they will take your team to 7 games, and Jimmy Butler will just execute in the clutch. This is what I'm saying, This is why the 76ers should have done everything in their power to keep Jimmy Butler. I don't know why you would keep Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. I don't know why you would insult Jimmy Butler like that. I don't know why you wouldn't let this dude do what he needs to do. If he is over here and he's telling you, I think we should do this, this, and this, and this would make it better. Ben Simmons, talking to you, don't get your panties in a twist. MB, I know MB loves off Jimmy, so it wasn't his fault. So the coaching, don't get your panties in a twist. He just wants to win. And if Simmons, you're taking offense to that, that's you. That's you. And look where you are now. Bounced out in the first round of the playoffs. So yeah, look where you are now, sitting at home. And look where Jimmy is. Almost about, knock on wood, don't want to jinx him. Almost about to beat the Celtics and make the finals. The finals. Before the Clippers. Just shake my head, bro. Shake my head, honestly. It just, I don't know why the 76ers do that. Just like that, like I said over and over and over, Jimmy Butler just wants to win. And guys like Kobe had this mentality, Jordan had this mentality, this quote-unquote killer mentality that he will murder you in your sleep to get to the finals, to get that dub, And he is built for the fourth quarter. This is why the 76ers need him, because he was that closer. He's literally one of the biggest reasons why they took Toronto to Game 7 in 2019. Because Jimmy Butler was a straight closer. That fourth quarter hits, that OT hits, that clutch time hits, something different just activates inside of him, and he just becomes a different dude entirely. So I'm so just rooting for the Heat, right? I'm rooting for the Heat and the Lakers, and I hope they match them in the finals. It'd be a good ass series, Tonight the Lakers play the Nuggets. we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I hope the Lakers can pull it through. But from LeBron's track record, he uses Game 1 as a feel out process. I think he's just gonna see how the Nuggets are, what they're really about. It wouldn't surprise me if the Lakers lose tonight. It really wouldn't surprise me. Um, well, Game 1 at least, because they're just seeing how the offense is gonna work with Jokic and Murray, and just worry about the other dudes. So we'll see. I got the Lakers winning in 6 for this series. Knock on wood, I don't jinx it. But I want to thank you guys so much for listening to my Clippers slander, me just go off for about 20 minutes. I will be streaming tonight some Black Ops Cold War Alpha gameplay, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to do it at my Twitch TV / they call me Mythic. You can find the links on my Instagram bio, my Twitter bio, anywhere you guys really follow me. We'll be uploading this on my YouTube. Stay more. What was the word am I looking for? Stay subscribed to my YouTube channels. I'm going to be uploading a little bit more game reviews, some in-depth looks at 2K. My podcast, as you guys know, will be available Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you can get podcasts. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.